Welcome back to Area DMG. I am your host, Will Wesley, the Mile High Mouth, and for today's episode of Suki Nihon for Area DMG, we're looking at Steven Universe, episode 12 of season 4, Gem Heist. Well, the crew arrives at the human zoo and discover that it's operational and guarded. So Garnet decides that they will pretend to give Steven as an offering to the zoo and fool the people running the zoo. So they disguise themselves as themselves and end up meeting Holly Blue Agate, brand new character, who's a bit kind of like Dolores Umbridge from Harry Potter. Kind of like, she even has like she's got like these little hair bun things that actually make me think of a character in Little Nicky. You know, the Adam Sandler film. Ooh, probably don't look that up. But anywho, she runs the zoo and harshly keeps the amethysts that run the zoo, that run it, they're the caretakers or whatnot of the zoo, in line. And upon meeting Sapphire, is just instantly smitten by the whole upper classness of Sapphire. Essentially, she's like, your clarity, which is interesting. Kind of like, your highness, your visionary, your clarity. Which, I kind of like that a lot. I should have people refer to me as that. Be like, I'll walk into a room and they go, your clarity! Which they really wouldn't because, you know how that is. Anywho, Sapphire, tricks Holly Blue Agate into giving them a tour of the facility. And they find out that 1, they just missed Blue Diamond. 2, all the things that are in this particular human zoo are from Earth. Like the staff and all that, all the amethysts and such. And, well, they're given a tour and we're given a little bit of a look into the caste system or levels of prestige that make up the matriarchal gem society. And a bit about the zoo facility, like what it does, how it houses things, etc., etc. So, she also shows them the only door into the human containment unit. And, well, Ruby gets an idea that maybe they should distract Holly Blue Agate and deal with, so they can get the door. So they make up a story about the ship that they're on, about to blow up or whatnot. And this causes Holly Blue Agate to go take Sapphire to another section of the facility where, while they're doing that, Pearl, Ruby, and Steven try and break into the door. They discover they can't really scratch it or do anything with it. And then Holly Blue Agate comes back. And then they're told by 2 amethysts that Blue Diamond has returned, and therefore they just decided to put Steven through the fast track of human processing, which is essentially like that little conveyor belt in the Jetsons that George steps into every morning, where he kind of brings around, washes them off and all that stuff. And it dresses Steven up in the typical zoo human garb, complete with these little necklace earring, these little earring things, little gem earrings, and a loincloth, which he does not exactly take to very kindly. In fact, he hates it, as well he should. Just tacky. And anywho, this episode ends where, after all that, Steven is kind of flushed through like a water aqueduct system into the heart of the zoo. He washes up on a shore there, which is kind of nice, the idea of I guess they kind of needed that when they first brought humans there, which is interesting, by the way. When they first brought humans there, they probably had to use that to make them convince them, just to make it a little bit more normal. I guess you could say being stranded somewhere with other humans kind of makes more sense, and this delivery system makes more sense. Kind of interesting that Blue Diamond kept this up there and apparently has staffed it with all the amethysts and such from Earth, plus her own Holly Blue Agate, which I guess those are like teachers or midwife type characters. It reminds me quite a bit of Dolores Umbridge. But yeah, at the end of this, Steven washes ashore on the beaches of this little island where the humans are, and he sees his dad, who's being tended to by two of the humans, talking to one and the other one's braiding his hair, and that is the end of the episode. Yeah, I didn't really have many notes about this episode. I just kind of felt that this episode and the previous one could have been jammed together. I mean, maybe. You could cut some of the little bits and pieces here and some of the awkward pauses in this episode and the other. You could probably squeeze them into about 11 minutes. But it really felt like those don't operate on their own. A lot of episodes don't because, you've got that little formula there. But these two in particular feel very weak on their own. And you know what? I think it's because they've started designing this around the idea of the, quote, Stephen bomb, end quote. Because imagine if you watched the previous episode where almost nothing really happened and you had to wait like a week or two for the next episode. That would be kind of awful. Same with this one. This one and the other one didn't seem to operate together like that. And if you're doing these in clusters, like one each day, like, oh, you've got 5 days of new episodes, that works. And I feel that that's actually for the best with this series because a lot of these episodes, I kind of feel like some of these episodes, even though stuff is happening, it might lose viewers if they weren't so close together. But yeah, I thought this episode was okay. Let me know what you thought of this episode. Let me know what you thought of the new character, the Holly Blue Agate. And let me know about that in the comments below. Hit that thumbs up, that like button if you haven't already. Share this with your Steven Universe loving friends if you haven't already. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. And then ring that bell to the little one next to the subscribe button so that you can be told when we have new episodes. Until the next new episode comes out, you are now caught up.